Hey everybody. We'll try this again. Uh, I'm not sure quite what happened. It may be that internet-wise things are not going to work out today, um, but it seems to be cutting in and out a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Just jumping in, I'm going to test this again and see what happens. So welcome if you're tuning in. This is the kind of back online take two of Tuesday's Ask Me Anything sessions. Again, not sure if this will work, but it seems there's been a few connection issues on the last one. But who knows? We might be back into it and all good round two. We were chatting just about arranging kind of, I guess, my process of arranging a song when I learn something new. And just to kind of cover that briefly, when I start with something that I'm looping, I tend to look for the most consistent groove that captures the feel of the song that I'm going to leave underneath pretty much the whole thing. I don't tend to change rhythm a huge lot during a song and try and have a whole lot of different rhythms. I try and have one that kind of is going to capture the essence of the song, and then I might cut it out, or I might put like just the snare hits on one of the other channels so that I can stop the main rhythm and I can have, say, chords and just a snare or something held in a snare. But it's a process of experimentation from there as to how I map out tracks. Sometimes there's, if we take the simplest example, which is 3 or 4 chords that repeat, then the beautiful thing about mapping out a looping option is simply that then all we've got to look at is what dynamics we want. So depending on how many tracks we're working with, I'm now running the RC300, so I've got 3 different tracks to work with. And then basically then I look at the dynamics of a song. So I'm probably going to have one track that's rhythm. Sometimes that rhythm track will be part of another track. I'll put it on together, and that gives me more space, more options to have different dynamics and different layers. But yeah, hopefully that gives a sort of an insight. Then I look at, am I going to put, say, the bass line with the rhythm so that I can drop out the chords at some point? And that's going to be a dynamic shift. What happens if I put the bass line with the chords? Then those two are now locked together. So if I drop things out, I'm maybe back to the rhythm on track 1. Or do I put the bass line perhaps on its own track, so that at some point in the song for dynamics, I can drop down to just a bass line, maybe a click with it, so there's still some sort of rhythmic groove going on. But that's probably the best way I can sum up the looping side of it. If I'm not looping, I have the option of the Stomp pedal, the kick pedal that I use, which is the Wild Dog Stomp. Sounds just like a drummer's kick pedal, essentially. So that can be a bonus for the song I'm doing. But I'm pretty much then going to play the chords and choose a groove to play. If it's just me playing solo with no looping for this, I have to somehow tease out, or I like to, I guess, tease out the rhythm within that so that we still feel like there's a groove. So say hi if you're on. Again, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work tonight, because the previous stream cut out. We had some issues with connection. So yeah. Hey Rodden, how's it going? Thanks, brother. A little change for this year, doing the Tuesday Ask Me Anything sessions as a once a month thing. I'm going to be back to creating and doing videos and things from this week, basically doing a bunch of Zoom calls and things tomorrow, and back to filming and editing and kind of all that fun stuff. So hey, yeah, never work, cool man. Hey, brother. Yeah, I hope that's useful for you, man. It does change bit to bit, song to song, and obviously, yeah, if I'm going down a looping track, but I would look at, if you're looping, I would look at getting the kick and snare pattern, the main kick and snare, for your rhythm, and then if you're not, then still looking at that, still learning what the kick and snare pattern of the song is, but also learning what the guitar rhythm and what's happening there. So yeah, Rodden, I do looping too, but have never managed to get a good beat through the guitar. I feel you. We were just chatting on the previous live stream, because I have this new PRS guitar that I'm using, and part of it was the pickup, being able to get a really good kick, a really good punchy bottom end to the sound. I don't actually use another guitar patch. I know a few people that do, and it can be a really good way to do that. Like if you're using the Voice Live 3 or something with EQ and different effects, then that can be a really good way to do it. I have actually considered, and it's something I might experiment with, using a gate on the guitar for those patterns, and just basically applying a gate like I would if I was live mixing a kick drum. I'd have a gate on it so that it's like we get that punchy kick, but it doesn't drag on. It's quite snappy, and same with the snare. Like we get a real good hit, that attack to it. But so yeah, I don't. It's something that I feel like I should get. Maybe I'll do that because it's on my list to do a video about different guitars, how some experiments you can do to test out, like at least get the best sound you can, hopefully, from your guitar. But every guitar is different, every pickup's different, and so I think it does take some experimenting to get a sound and a result that you're happy with. But I think I might try and get a guitar, like a really cheap end guitar that doesn't have, just when plugged in, doesn't have any real bottom end to it, because I think that's going to be the most useful for me to do a video. It's all very nice for me to say, like, hey, cool, I just do this and I hit the strings by the bridge there, but this guitar in particular has a really punchy, fat bottom end that comes through. So it's not going to be relevant for everybody if I do that. But a Boss Octave while playing the whole song, yes, but I do use the Boss OC3 through the whole song, absolutely. But I have it so that only basically the E and the A string get doubled. Now it's a range thing. So really I set it so you can just hear the octave when I play the D string, which means that it will be the octave up to the D on the E string as well. And same, it's not a per string thing, it's a pitch, it's a frequency thing that it reaches. So yeah, Neville, you can set up a drum beat if a song's in 4/4 with 120. Yeah, absolutely. Look, that's a great way to go as well. If you're struggling with getting a good sound from your guitar, or if you just want the option of running something else that's got a good tone, a good sound to it, there's things like the Beat Buddy that I'm seeing a lot of people using the Beat Buddy with the Eros looper from Singular Sound. That seems to be growing as a really great setup. And then again, you don't have to worry about you have to do a bit of work to understand the the technology, how you use fills on the Beat Buddy, setting tempos and what you want. But once you've done that work, you're going to get a great sound. You're going to have those things running and sounding good without trying to do it all from your guitar. So there's a lot of good options out there at the moment that's growing. Yeah, but yeah, feel free if there's anything you want to kind of dig into and dive into. Feel free to put it in the chat. This is actually the first one of this year, which now I'm going to say it's the second one because my internet cut out and I had to restart this this stream. So who knows? But yeah, we'll see. Ron, do you recommend the Boss RC300 over the Ditto X4 for sound quality? To be honest, I haven't noticed any significant difference sound quality wise. I have a feeling that the Ditto probably is 24-bit wave file, where the RC300 is 16-bit. Again, I don't hugely notice it in terms of sound quality. It's a little bit like there becomes a point where it could be a problem, but with all of these pedals, the quality base level, like what the Boss RC300, even though it's 10 years old or old now, is it's the sound and audio that it's using is the same as all the CDs you've ever listened to, which is a 16-bit wave file, which is the end output. So yeah, it's an interesting one, because for me it's just never really been an issue. It's not something that's significant enough for me to really be concerned about. If it was, and I was like suddenly changed from one pedal to the other and was like, doesn't sound great, then yeah, I would change and be concerned about it. But David, hey brother, yeah, this is something I love talking about, actually, to be honest, because there is an amazing book that I read at uni. I got RSI in both forearms, was at uni playing a lot, had a lot going on, and it's a book called The Mind Body Prescription by John E. Sano. You're welcome, Neville. It literally has changed my life from, and I don't speak about this, it's not hugely common unless something comes up, but yeah, dealing with RSI to the point I couldn't lift things. I just had no strength in my forearms, and the advice I was given was play the guitar and practice for 5 minutes, then take an hour's break, go for a walk along the ocean, get away, come back and play again. And there's lots of things that contradictory, that change, but I knew I wanted to be performing. And so that advice didn't work for me, basically. I had to find something else, where it was like, can you imagine me going to a concert and be like, I'm going to play one song for 5 minutes out of concern for my forearms, and then we're going to take an hour's break. Maybe we'll go to the pub next door and have a beer, and then I'll come back and we'll play one more song. It's like, whew, that was going to be a long gig. So anyway, there's a book called The Mind Body Prescription, and it's by a doctor in the States who he started dealing with things like tendonitis and RSI a lot more in tennis players than necessarily musicians. I don't recall him talking about that in the book. But he actually works through with people. Your body has an amazing capacity to heal and self-regulate itself. And he has a crazy high success rate with people by running 2-hour workshops where he talks about and explains in a nutshell, for me, was the fact that my body will produce some sort of physical symptom to avoid me looking at emotions and stress that is going on in my life. And I can only speak for me, but I read his book and ordered his book online and went through it, and I actually went through a process where I wrote out everything that was on my mind, just anything and everything in a book, which was like, well, I've got to pay my cell phone bill. I have a recital coming up. Some of it was just like genuine. I'm frustrated, like with using my arms or not. I was like teaching at the time as well as doing uni. I was concerned about money. There was a lot going on. I remember it flowing onto the second page and being like really surprised because I'd just never done anything like that before. Never thought about it. And I literally, the RSI, and I use that in quotes because it's very, very real. Your body physically can have inflammation, can have a lot of pain, but the root of that is an internal kind of circuitry, in a sense. When anything, your body will heal itself in it's about 6 weeks, I think, for the femur, the biggest bone you have in the body, to heal. And I remember through this book, this guy, John Sarno, talking about if you have something that's ongoing, which is what gets talked about with RSI and tendonitis and things like that for tennis players, musicians. If you have something ongoing, the root cause is not a physical thing, but it's there to distract you. And we want to go and look at the physical thing. And again, don't take my words. This is kind of me sharing my experience and my understanding of what I went through, to literally never have RSI or any of those dramas ever again. So that's my story. That's kind of what I went through. But I would highly urge you to read the book and just see what you get out of it. If something relates, amazing. If not, feel free to throw it out the window, But I've seen an amazing bunch of stories from people understanding a new concept that's not commonly talked about. We commonly talk about if you have a physical issue or a physical thing, we should go to the physical person that deals with that. Awesome. But we're a whole system, we're a whole unit. And yeah, as I say, I feel very blessed that I stumbled across that book and just haven't had any of those issues and have an internal awareness on what's going on in that regard for myself. So I hope that's useful. If you tuned in, yeah, that's a little bit about my history and my experience. I feel like it's worth checking out for yourself, and you will have your own experience and your own stories. But that book is very highly rated on my shelf and on my list of things that have provided value to me. Hey Marcus, how's it going? How are things across the globe in Norway? Yeah, you can heal your life in the secret language of the body. Okay, cool. I have come across You Can Heal Your Life, not the secret language of the body. So cool. Same lines. Awesome. I will look them up after this stream. No, I really like how you've put that, Rodden. If your body is stopping you doing what you love, then it's trying to bring your attention that something needs to be fixed. That is a very cool way of putting it. And the attention might be, I'm just going to put this from my perspective, the attention might be to a grander scale than just the physical issue that's going on. So, yeah, awesome, David. As with any of this stuff, if it's useful, if it sparks a curiosity, go and check it out. The book's available from Amazon, or Rodden's mentioned another couple of things as well. and yeah, it's a few different options of things. But yeah, cheers for the question, man. Um, Neville, last question. I play a Cole Clark FL1 through an RC5, then into a Behringer mixer and into powered speakers. It sounds fine, but I hear some much better sound from other players. Any ideas or comments? I mean, honestly, a bunch of this stuff. There's an endless option of different gear, different tone, different sounds, and I'm guilty of this too. I have a bunch of all sorts of cool different gear that I run, and some things sound really good through certain systems, and other things not. But equally, part of that is each system and setting has a default kind of tone and should we say frequency response built in. So as much as even to the point that we're starting with different guitars, so we're starting with a different signal. So what might sound naturally good if I plug this directly into a powered speaker, that speaker will have a certain frequency response. So this guitar might sound not that great. The next person's guitar will sound great. And I think it's a case of experiment. There's some real standards where you're like, okay, there's just a nice tone from this piece of gear. That's why we we hunt down certain guitar effects pedals and things like that. They have a bit of love that's built in. But in terms of sound, I would see what you're go on see if you can stalk the players that you really like their tone, and see if there's something in particular that they're using or running through. Often they will talk about it at some point. So yeah, there might be some insights in that just from doing some kind of online research and stalking. Neil, thoughts on Sinister Gates from Avenged Sevenfold? I don't know it. So no thoughts. Huge sound typically, but I'm going to add that to the books that Rodden mentioned, to my things to look up after this live stream. So, ooh. Nice. Marcus, doing fine. Just learned how to play violin effect on loop pedal by turning the volume slowly up after I've strummed. Yes. Nice. I really like it. It's like where I want a little tone pot on here to just be able to play and roll up some volume, do little volume swells. That's cool, man. We need to catch up and I'll look forward to hearing some of these new loops and creations that you've been doing, man. Yeah, the endless search for tone. The endless search for tone. Adam, would you mind playing us a song? Sure. Let's. Rodden, I haven't used the boomerang. I'm going to test out. We'll see. I really want to make lots of excuses right now for but I always tend to play things that I'm like just working on. So this is a Tommy Emmanuel tune that actually, Marcus, you might enjoy this. This that I dug out. I haven't played for a long time, but let's see if we. Actually, what happened? Yeah. That's a work in progress. I've been really enjoying playing it, but yeah, it's been nice to get back actually to playing some cool little guitar pieces and things like that. So yeah, something a bit different. Do you use any guitar effect units to change guitar tone? Yeah, absolutely. I currently for today, I just have the Boss RC300 at my feet. But yeah, I use an overdrive. I've used a couple of little wah effects at different times, but at the moment, just genuinely using an overdrive and delay, an overdrive with a boost. So the boost is a little bit more dirty for lead stuff. Then yeah, delay and just a basic overdrive essentially. So yeah. Cheers everybody. Ryan, are you still using the Voice Live 3? I'm not. I am using the RC300. Having another whole loop channel constantly at my feet is beautiful. I really would struggle to go back now, and I'm arranging things differently because I have three separate loops. So then, in terms of dynamics, I can shuffle things onto different loops and have them come in and out. Yeah, which is cool. So yeah, doing a bunch of that. Loop songs, Adam. Yeah, I haven't for the last, man, it has been a month. I really wanted to do a really cool version of maybe we'll see what happens. I've got to think what the song's called. I'm in my head. I'm like, my last proper practice session with this was just before. It was last year in December in a little hotel room, preparing for the Revive Festival. But it's a Matt Corby song called Resolution that I've just really struggled with the vocals. So on a good day, I'm like, cool. On a bad day, I'm like, oh, I don't want that to be out there. So, but we'll see. We'll see what today is, shall we? This is good refreshing for me, I guess. Got a weary. Let's just have some reverb on my voice as well. Da, 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 da. So this is what I've been working on. I'm giving up, so lies on me. And call it out like a family. Instead I bide my time, get right until the rubber leaves the road. You said no lies, so I made the truth seem like a lie to even you. Control your fear, it's clear. But you do not know where you're going to. So don't you worry, you'll be my resolution. Characters of no illusion. You be mine. Oh yeah, it's all the instinct versions now. I've missed all the nice things, but 1 month down and it's inside. Oh, I'm guaranteed to lose my mind. It's dangerous to speak and say. You might know what I'm trying to hide. So from the cradle to quarter age. Oh, I bought the book but didn't flip the page. It's going to be an absolute mess, to be honest, if I continue with this. So there you go. That's a work in progress. At some stage, it will be up on the channel. And for those of you that were online tonight, you can look at it and have a good laugh, being like, "Yep, that really didn't work." So yeah, but yeah, working on that. The hardest thing for me still, and it was present tonight, is I've really wanted to keep that start lie. Just that, but then I really have to lock in, and I didn't do it well tonight. I have to lock in really nicely with that through that first verse. Otherwise, what happens is, and that was kind of through that, it's like it doesn't lock in nice and tight. I could start with that where we're going to get to later, and I build on the rhythm track for it. But it's just like, yeah, I want to keep that start nice and light. It's well beyond my vocal ability, and so as I say, if I have like a great day, I think, yes, oh my gosh, cool. But it's also at the moment kind of a real mind game for getting everything locked in and wanting to perform it live. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at. But just a little playing playing through everything there. And oh, cheers, Ryan. Hey, hi in Canada, by the way. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thanks, Adam. Hey, Chris. Hey, how's it going? I am good. Thank you. Sounds like a D'Angelo groove. Thank you. Yeah. He's got such great stuff. With or without you cover. Tony, I have at some point. I think I just sat there and did and whatever key we're in. But yeah, not part of my set in general. But yeah, good option to loop with a little delay, I guess, on that. But yeah, Adam, I play with where was that? I saw that somewhere. I play with a pick as well. Just depends what we're doing. And if you saw Instagram, I've been working on. This is just a fun piece. I learned a long time ago I don't know if any of you are into them, Rodrigo and Gabriella Tamakun. So I learned that whole part with the pick and which is still too fast for me. It just is. But then I've been starting to learn Gabriella's part as well. So I have way too many projects on at the moment, but I'm looking at doing that with the duo with Shimna. So I've been teaching her all the. So I can play harmony. And then of course I have to learn all these triplets. I don't know if for those of you that know, you'll know she's an amazing rhythm guitarist. Just crazy cool rhythms, really tight, and a bunch of guitar percussion as well. So those are some of, if you an insight into my world, those are some of what's on the practice list at the moment, which is like it's literally expanding rather than shrinking. So I either need to spend more time on the guitar playing, or maybe just push some of them to the side for a little bit. But yeah, how do I layer Dancing in the Dark? I genuinely just put a rhythm down for it, and then it's just me playing guitar. So that's get up in the evening, and that's literally the rhythm that's under it. Super simple. Yeah, it's it just something to add and fill out the track, Adam. So from that side, it's just a rhythm, and then I'm playing those little lines. But you could loop. Yeah, I spent a bit of time, I guess, playing around with. Can I get the? I get up in the evening. And I ain't got nothing to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. Going to like a major 7. I am nothing but tired, just to get the melody in there. And I'm just tired and bored with myself. Hey baby. So I could use just a little help. You can't start a fire. To see, sorry. Can't start a fire without a spark. Open string. This goes for higher. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. So yeah, I play it in F. I think it's originally in B flat or somewhere. So you could either do this with a capo or figure out different ways of. Get up in the evening and I ain't got nothing to say. I come in the morning, go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired. If it is B flat, it might be C. Yeah, again, you're right. It's not the native key. I'm not sure what the original was, but you might be able to figure out, again, depending on where your voice range sits, what works nicely for you. You can either use a capo or start Tony, have a good day, man. See you later. Thanks for dropping in, brother. Yeah, cheers, everybody. Okay, G, sure. So yeah, I mean, you could just chuck a capo on and then copy what I'm doing. So that's all good. But yeah, what's everyone learning at the moment? What's happening in terms of live looping guitar playing across the globe? Given some of you are from Canada, from the States, from all over, love to know what's happening. Is everyone just? I know a bunch of you are still kind of stuck at home, and so then it's great. I was going to say it's great. It's not great, but there is a weird benefit of being able to play the guitar and practice a bunch. So, ooh, nice. Virtual Insanity. Great tune. Virtual Insanity. It's what we're living in. What we're living in. It's maybe an appropriate tune for the moment. Cool. Great tune. Yeah, at the moment I am... I've been doing a lot, just been at the Auckland Folk Festival, which was awesome. I am doing a lot, honestly, on a laptop, organizing a tour in New Zealand for April and May. So there's a lot of promo, getting in touch with venues. Coming up as well, we've got a lot of practice sessions. For me personally, I need to do a lot of work to keep up with Shimna on the fiddle, on the violin, just how it is. And I come up with these crazy ideas, right, of like, this would be amazing to do. Let's do, actually, let's do it while we've got a loop pedal. So this is, again, where my brain goes with arranging some stuff. We were talking about it earlier. Not the greatest rhythm and things, but you get the idea. Then I thought, why don't I learn a harmony? Oh. So yeah, that's kind of where my brain goes, and then I'm like, hey Shimna, can you learn this, because just literally because I think this would be cool and fun for us to do. But yeah, I'm back into working up my speed with a pick, and just I need to do some work with this to really lock in a nice tempo and groove, because I'm aware that I move a lot with it. Battery's about to die as he fades away with no battery. So hang on, I have a spare battery, so I will disappear somewhere and replace that, and we can fire in some messages in the meantime as I disappear and get a battery. If there's anything that you want to pick my brains on, or we should chat about, then fire them in, and I will replace this. I'm coming back. It's like I never left, except now we've got all the info. There we go. All right. Sweet. We're back. Thanks for the heads up. How did I start playing the guitar? This almost makes me want to go, be really cheesy and say, well, I picked up the guitar and put my fingers on it. I'm sorry. I was 14. I saw a guy, bro, I remember this super clear. There was a guy we were doing a school production, and this guy, Carlos Miranda, was sitting, great guitarist and great singer. Great dude, even. How about that? Was playing. Wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. We could cut ties with all the lives you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. Jumper by Third Eye Blind, and was it Jim Carrey? No, a guy, Carlos Miranda, at my high school, and everyone was sitting around, and there was just cool feeling. It was like the vibe that he created for everyone connecting and just being involved and kind of like hanging out. There was something about it, and I it was probably the next week I started playing guitar. And as soon as I got into it, I just absolutely loved it. My spare time went into it. I sat around learning all the Dave Matthews Band stuff. Satellite in my eyes, like a diamond in the sky. How I wonder, satellite headlines read. So yeah, I got really into that, and I loved the weirdness of Dave Matthews Band. I don't know if you guys have come across the album live at Luther College. It's Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds. Amazing guitar work, just very cool stuff. Dave plays a lot of really interesting rhythms with what he sings. And I spent forever trying to get that under my fingers. So that I could sing over top of it. Yeah. So yeah. But that's how I got started. I really liked. I learned a bunch of Crowded House because I'm New Zealand. Tim and Neil Finn. I learned a lot of Dave Matthews Band stuff that I haven't played for ages, to be honest. Any of that, but used to do a lot of. And a friend that I played in a duo with did a lot of Dave Dobbin, which is another awesome Kiwi artist. So we did a bunch of that stuff together. But I just enjoyed being able to learn some chords and start singing pretty badly some songs that I liked, and that was pretty cool. So Semisonic gone to the movies now. Thanks. I will check it out. I don't think I know it. A good loop song for Dave. Who knows? A good loop song for Dave could be anything, man. The obvious one would be the Crash Into Me. You've got your phone, you've got your chain tied to me, tight me up again. Who's got the clothes in you, my friend? Into your heart, beating again, love. Sweet like candy to my soul. Sweet you rock and sweet you. Lost for you, I'm so lost for you. Oh, when you come crash into me, yeah, baby. Please come crash into me. So that's all of the stuff I used to play all the time. I used to love it. But that might be a possible looping option. Yeah, so many tunes. I really, and I haven't listened to them for ages, but Matt and Soph from the Distance did a beautiful cover of Grave Digger. Again, if you're into it, you might not. How do I say Shmieri? Is that how I say your name? I hope so. I do play the electric guitar. I don't play it a lot. I actually don't own an electric guitar right at the moment, which is crazy. I really like Telecaster. And weirdly, my favorite guitar, electric, is a Japanese Tele that a friend owns. That I still want to buy, but it's not for sale. But I just love it, something about it. So, Adam, how would you emulate percussion on that? Like, today we're going to talk about Carter Beauford's percussion for guitar. I would have to go and listen to the track again, man. There's so many. For those of you that don't know the Dave Matthews Band, if you're into some epically beautiful and like what on earth are you actually doing when you listen to the tracks drumming, go and check out some of the Dave Matthews Band stuff. Great drumming underneath that. So Josh, hey man, how's it going? I'm good, and the PRS is treating me very well. Thank you. I'm having a lot of fun. Feels like, learning to play again. At the moment, I've spent so much time on the guitar, and I'm loving it. And I don't know how long you've been on this stream, but diving back into a lot of stuff that I used to do that I just stopped doing. So Rodrigo and Gabriella. Some of their stuff, both rhythm and lead, getting my pick work and speed back up, which is pretty average at the moment, I'll be honest. And then also a bunch of folksy stuff. As I said before, I have to really work hard to to keep up with Shimna on the violin. So it's been a bit of work for me to get some guitar speed and things happening, which is cool. It's nice to dive back into. Have you messed with piping in a keyboard or using an iPad with some instrument emulator, something into your looper to try some more complex mixes? It's something I've been thinking a lot about. I have borrowed a friend's Akai. Sorry, I'm going to keep chatting. I'm just going to change this. Our brightness since we've changed batteries. I feel like we've suddenly got brighter, but maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, I have played around with a friend's Akai, and I forget what it is every time I ask him. It's the one that has sounds built into it. Keyboard, a few pads as well. It's like the Mini Play or the Akai. I'm not sure. MPC Play something. If you look it up, you'll find it. It's the one that has again sounds built into it, and he programmed some cool stuff into the keys. It's maybe, I don't know, 2.5 octaves, something, if that, maybe not even that. But that was really fun, and it's actually really nice to put something different into the mix than just guitar tones, even though, there's a lot of options, obviously, with pedals and stuff like the Voice Lab 3 of 101 different patches, amps, mods, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that's it's endless. I watched a very cool. We had some stuff filmed by a beautiful guy, Cadby. The last video that I just posted on the channel is an original tune that Shimon and I, at the end of the festival, they had these beautiful sunflowers. We were exhausted, and he's like, "I'd love to film something for you guys." And so we were like, "Thanks, man. That'd be amazing, right? Like having someone do that for us, because normally we're running around trying to do it as well and set up cameras and that." So super appreciative. And he we were like, okay, it's like the end of a festival, right? We can do this, and it came out really great. It's a tune I was actually I was really uncomfortable with sharing, because it's about me being a dick, basically. I'm probably not supposed to say that on stream. Oh well, I'll get censored later, from YouTube. But it was me looking back at some stuff that I'm really not proud of. But I just didn't, and I talk about it in the video. I just didn't have any other tools at that time. I didn't know. Like, I'm a guy in New Zealand. I think this is kind of similar across the globe, but it's not been cool to express emotion or not have it all together. So so it was really cool to share that, and a couple of friends kind of helped me get my mindset around just being like, dude, it's a great song, just let it out there. Like, so I have, and I guess now I'm like, okay, it is what it is, and that's also a part of my life that I'm like, that was a beautiful part of my life, and a really trying emotional time. So anyway, sorry, this is all sorts of tangents, as you are aware. But yeah, he filmed, getting back to where I went on this tangent, he filmed recently. If you go and check him out on Instagram, it's Cadby Kong, CADBYKONG. And I think it's called Octopus's Garden. A beautiful loop with, I forget her name. So go and look it up. But she was using the JDXI, the Roland kind of synth keyboard. And I was like, she actually in the video, she was like, "Oops, wrong sound." I really liked it. But anyway, a whole range of tones, sounds, and all sorts of options inside of that. So yeah, definitely something on the radar. Again, for me, a lot of times it genuinely is like, what budget do you put into experimenting with stuff, right? Like, and it might be something I do more this year, of being like, cool, let's grab that, test it out in the mix, see what I end up with if I really dig using it. But one of the things that's a challenge as well is, as you start incorporating keyboard stuff and different instruments, you have to have for me anyway, like, my setup at the moment is it's a lot. It really is. And so then it sort of adds, it's like fun, but then if you're doing a lot of shows, every setup is like, okay, right, now this, and this. So I have a love-hate relationship with keeping things absolutely simple, and then I love bringing in a whole lot of stuff as well. So anyway, super fun to play with the basement. For sure, extra setup and things. And it's honestly, for me, with looping, it's a bunch of practicing stuff, because when we're looping, we only play, let's say we play one bar as a loop. You know, a good example is rhythm stuff. If we play just, I'm gonna welcome to this live stream where I get tangled up and caught in the headphones. If we play like a groove into a loop, for example, whatever that is, if it's slightly out of time, like if it's not locked in, like it's fine, but it's not great, then how much should I practice that? Like, it's one groove for one song, but I need to practice it to a point where it's really like locked in. You know, not exactly, not like that. But live, we only play it once. Whereas if you were drumming on the guitar, the whole thing, if you weren't looping, you would genuinely be practicing for 3 or 4 minutes. You know, that groove locked in. So I think with everything that gets added, for it to come out really nicely, it like almost like 10 times the amount of practice overall that has to go into stuff. But anyway, I'll put it in here. It's I can write it in the chat. Could be calm. There you go. So if you go and search him on Instagram, then yeah. Nice. DJ X1 from the 90s, which is still nice. I need to go and look up what that is, Chris. I'm guessing it's some sort of cool synthesizer, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. Okay. What should we play? Could definitely play an original for you. I might even I'll play that tune that I was talking about. It's called Hurt People, Hurt People. I'm just going to grab a capo and put it in a different key. Da, 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 da. Cheers, Ron. Well, I think to be honest, I will play this tune, and then it might be me signing off as well. I'm starting early in the morning with some Zoom lessons tomorrow. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Yeah, nice. Cool. That's awesome. So I've been experimenting with looping this as well. Just again, just little bits and pieces behind the track, because there's not a lot on it. Yeah. Oh wait. Cheers, Ryan. I'm keeping you up now. I remember the trip we made when I was not okay. I made you sleep upon the floor. Didn't know what to do, no way to talk with you. The pain in me I just ignored. Looking back, well, I know that hurt people, it's true, it don't mean to hurt no one. We've all got past issues that need time and wet tissues to come undone before the hurt is gone. Thought I was over this, but I'm still trying to resist looking deep into your eyes. You packed up your things, I took off my wedding ring, well, and said I was okay, but I lied. Looking back, I know that hurt people, it's true, we don't mean to hurt no one. We've all got past issues that need time and wet tissues to come undone before the hurt is gone. We can't move on. Hurt people, it's true, we don't mean to hurt no one. We've all got past issues that need time and wet tissues to come undone. Hurt people, it's true, we don't mean to hurt someone. We've all got past issues that need time and wet tissues to come undone before the hurt is gone. Yeah. So there you go. It's a little bit of well, it's kind of recent, kind of not. But yeah, just me looking back at a bunch of stuff and yeah, kind of being like, that was pretty intense actually. But yeah, as I say, I didn't have any other tools to kind of deal with stuff or express myself. I wasn't good at that. Music has been that for me. So I often actually write songs and then realize what I was feeling kind of after writing a song and being like, yeah, figuring out what I've just expressed. So, oh, hey, look, cheers, man. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Ryan. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, appreciate you all. Thanks all, everybody. It's been kind of nice connecting in and jumping in and doing this. It's going to be a first Tuesday of the month thing for this year of jumping on and chatting and yeah. I mean, I honestly, I hope it's useful. I think it's kind of weird sometimes being like jumping on. I'm not prepping for a show. I'm not necessarily warming up or doing what I do before a show. It's me hanging out. And hopefully some of the kind of mistakes and weird things that come out become kind of useful, that, you know, everyone's just a human and we're all figuring out this stuff and experimenting with things and different looping things. So I'd like to think that I get to a point where I release a cool recorded version of Resolution by Matt Corby. But yeah, again, from tonight, it's like, it's quite a way off, I think, in terms of my vocal ability and just really locking in. And the funny thing with recording is if I get one really nice take, which for me at the moment is like very, very rare on that. the planets have to align, because my practice is not there, my vocal skills are not quite there for what I want to do with the track. So yeah, I hope it's useful to just be like, yeah, we're all learning and figuring out whatever the next thing is that we want to do. So yeah, appreciate you all for hanging out, and yeah, we'll see you in a month. But in the meantime, I'll be making a bunch of content back on the channel, which is nice. I pretty much took January off to just chill and explore the country and play a bunch of shows and travel around. So it was nice. Anyway, have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you sometime soon. Ciao.